So today is January 10th, which means that today is the day that John Green's new book comes out. And I am a huge fan of John Green, so I would just like to take a second to celebrate the fact that, yay, The Fault in Our Stars is now out and people can read it. I can't because I ordered it off the internet and it just shipped today, but it is out there, the book, being read right now, and that is a very cool thing. If you've never read anything by John Green, you should go read his books right now. Start with Looking for Alaska, and then read An Abundance of Catherines, and then read Paper Towns, and then you can read his other stuff. But those are the three best ones. Also, hello to Tay and Hope and Helly. I really liked all of your videos, and I'm very glad that you're joining us. So the rest of the video, I'm just going to be talking about Hounds, because that was on Sunday, and surprisingly no one from the channel has talked about it yet. So I'm gonna just go for it. The things I liked about Hounds, there were a lot of them. I liked that it was more of a traditional mystery story. Scandal was really good, but it didn't have that like Sherlock Holmes-y kind of feel, you know, where there's a mystery or a murder and now we're gonna solve it and that kind of thing. Like there really was not a ton of that in the first episode. So I really liked the fact that it got back to, you know, crime solving, that sort of thing. All of the acting in this episode was really brilliant. I thought Russell Tovey in particular was phenomenal. And Martin Freeman was incredibly believable as John Watson, as always. I liked the fact that Sherlock was properly a jerk. Because, I mean, come on. The guy insulted his only friend, and then after he apologized, which was good, he drugged his coffee and put him in a lab and did an experiment on him and scared the poor guy half to death. I was really concerned for John. I felt so terrible. I was scared for him. And then when I found out that Sherlock had done that to him, I wanted to punch him in the face. And I think that's just really good characterization there. I also like the fact that this episode is actually scary. I'm a bit scared of giant animals, so the big hound is kind of frightening. More frightening than that was the scene where Henry Knight was in his house and there was the window and the window was open. Why he was sleeping with the window open, I'm not sure. You should never sleep with your window open. That's just not a thing that you should do. And with the lights, it was a weird combination of, I'm not sure if this is more like aliens or more like demons, but either way, he needs to go get the salt right now. Joe complained about the fact that if Irene was gonna get her head chopped off, there's no way that they would let her send a text. And there's no way that Sherlock could have gotten there and saved her, and it's just really unrealistic. I had a little bit of the same issue with this episode because there is no way that Sherlock and John would have gotten to that military base with Mycroft's ID just because the ID had Mycroft's picture on it. And Mycroft and Sherlock do not really look alike. So I was kind of like, I don't know about that. I always just try to tell myself, you know, I have to suspend my disbelief because this is a show and obviously it's not going to be completely realistic. Still, that bit kind of bothered me. And also the bit about the fact that it was blatantly obvious who the bad guy was. But that was just one of the mysteries in the episode. There was the whole thing about what's with the creepy lights and what's with the dog and what's with the everything. So it didn't bother me too much that that particular part of the mystery was obvious. I'd also just like to mention the fact that as soon as Henry Knight said Liberty Inn, I thought, wouldn't that be funny if that were Liberty, Indiana? Because I live in Indiana, and Liberty is about an hour south of here. And I thought, no, there's no way. It's gonna be something else. But that would be a funny coincidence. And then it was Liberty, Indiana, and yeah, that kind of made my life a little bit. Overall, I really liked it, and I actually liked it a lot more the second time I watched it. I watched it pretty much back to back. As soon as I got it downloaded, I watched it again, and the second time it grew on me a lot more. So I'm really looking forward to next week, and at the same time, I don't ever want it to be next week, just because as soon as Reichenbach is over, I know I'm just going to cry for days, probably, because of what happens in the episode, and also because there will be at that point another hiatus of probably at least a year and a half. So I look forward to hearing all of your opinions on Hounds, and I will see you next Tuesday, unless I have drowned in a pool of my own tears, in which case just know that I died a good death, I guess. Goodbye!